Welcome back to another episode of Creative Differences. I'm Gaby, and we're all coming to you live from global pandemic.
Okay, I feel like that's a little much. Also, we're not really live because it's not.
Oh,
anyway,
right.
I'm calling and,
I mean, it is a global pandemic.
It is, but I don't know. It's just when you say it, it's like, oh, we're all going to die, I feel like.
It's not. Well, okay, just to be clear. This is my dumb biology degree coming in. A pandemic has a very simple...
yeah, what's the difference between a pandemic and an epidemic?
Yes, I'll explain a bunch of stuff. Okay.
No, Demi, you're not here.
A pandemic simply means that it's in more than one continent. A disease that...
Oh.
Yeah, that's all it means.
Thus pan.
Yeah.
Like
it's a disease that was previously just in one continent has now gone to another continent.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just in more than one. So, like, let's say there's measles in Antarctica,
right?
And measles on another part of the world where it's never existed before. Now technically it's a pandemic.
Yeah, but how's that work if continents are like connected? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Huh. Okay.
And then epidemic means there are more cases this year than last year. So if last year there was one case and this year there are two, it's technically an epidemic.
Huh.
So there's very simple definitions. But because they've been used in dramatic contexts before, people are freaking out. So, like, the moment the virus was here and in Europe, I was like, it's already a pandemic. Like, I know they haven't declared it a pandemic, but I know the definition, so I know it's a pandemic.
Yeah, that was our science lesson for the day, guys. And I'm Demi. I will be taking Dallas's place today because he could not be here today.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were going to be in this review like a dummy.
Yeah.
Even though we discussed it more than once, I'm so sorry.
Otherwise, Gaby, it would be you talking about two movies that you saw that I didn't see.
I know. I just realized. No. I knew that Demi was going to be here, but I also didn't know that Demi was going to be here.
And
like
today,
I know.
Coming from the apocalypse today, we are going to talk to you guys about Emma and Bloodshot. Gaby, you saw Emma.
I did. I'm the only one here that saw Emma. It was everything you would want from an Emma movie. It was so great. Oh my God. Okay.
What would you want from an Emma movie?
You would want a lot of sass coming from Emma, particularly in her relationship with her and Knightley. Also, this one, they really went all out on the costumes. They were amazing and gorgeous. Oh my God. Emma wore this like white costume that had like green embroidery all throughout. And this sash that was like ombre green to yellow. Oh my God. It was so beautiful. And then she had this coat, this like yellow coat that was just like perfectly tailored and then like pressed so that like the creases on it were just, oh my God, it was beautiful. It was so well made. Ugh. Anyway, so you want like a lot of sass between Emma and Knightley. You want her dad to be like the right balance of neurotic, but like loving only to Emma. And like you also want some great production design in terms of like the sets, which they were like, let's be honest, only women are going to watch this. Let's be honest. Like that's all. And so like, a lot of, especially at the beginning of the movie, it was very bright and there were a lot of pastels. And I was like, yes, they understand their audience. Oh, it was amazing. Anyway, and then what was also great is like you wanted certain characters like Elton and Harriet at the beginning to be very cartoonish, which they were at the beginning. Harriet eventually like softens and she becomes more like, I mean, she's sweet the whole time, but like she's supposed to be like ridiculous and like fawning over Emma at the beginning. And then she becomes much more like, how do I put it? It's hard to explain. Less like a comic and like silly character and more just like a young woman that's come into her own and has fallen in love with a dude. And it's super sweet. And I love it. Oh my God. But yeah, it was great and it was really good. And Anya Taylor-Joy did a great job. She was Emma and she carried the whole movie. And the guy that they got to play Knightley, I wouldn't have cast, like normally when I picture Knightley, I picture a really tall, like brunette dude that kind of like, I picture Paul Rudd, okay? Because Paul Rudd is Knightley in Clueless. So I basically just picture a Paul Rudd type.
Uh-huh.
But they cast like this dude that's like kind of like got scraggly, like long red hair and like scraggly and like just kind of looks a little bit like wild. And I was like, don't usually expect that, but like he really did a great job as Knightley. And what I also liked about this movie is because they knew that like their cast is predominantly women, they did a scene where like you normally see scenes of like the women getting dressed, so you see their under things, but like I've never seen a scene of like a dude getting dressed in like that fancy clothes. So they like Knightley came in, you didn't see his face right away, you just saw the back of him, and like Knightley came in and like he took a bath, so you like got to see him like a little naked, and then they like dressed him from like from head to toe, and I was like, wow, so like that's how the clothes for the men worked. And I realized by the end of it that like I'd never seen a dude get dressed in one of these like period pieces before, which I appreciated as well. So Emma's really good. I thought it covered history well, the story really well. Anya Taylor-Joy did a great job like carrying the whole film, and the rest of the cast was really, really solid.
Cool.
Oh, I loved it so much. It was great.
And in case you guys didn't know, with everything going on in the world today, Emma is now going to be available on video on demand, I believe this Friday? So if you guys haven't seen it yet, feel free to pick it up.
Yeah, Friday the 20th. It's going to be $19.99 for a 2-day rental. I think they're only doing rentals right now.
Yeah, so hey, get it while you can.
Watch it at home. It's something you would watch at home like with comfort food, or like I would. Definitely watch it at home in like with some like pasta or like cheese.
I was gonna say that
some
feels like
bread.
you would do like a cheese plate kind
yeah,
of thing.
I would definitely do a cheese plate and like just curl up with my dog and watch it. So.
You guys heard it from Gaby, and she is our resident period piece expert.
I loved it. It was amazing.
All right, next up is Bloodshot, which me and Gaby saw together.
We did. We were one of 4 people in the theater.
So you mean 2 of 4?
Oh, sorry, 2 of 4 people.
2 of us.
Sorry.
Basically, just to give you guys a rundown, Bloodshot is about, well, it's based off of a comic book, and it's about a soldier who is brought back from the dead with the ability to regenerate using nanites by a private company, but everything isn't what it seems to be.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen the trailer, the plot twist is within that trailer, but
we're not going to ruin it for
that
you.
For anybody who hasn't seen the trailer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what did you think, Gaby?
I told you this like 3 times while we were watching it, but I was like, I wish they hadn't told us the plot twist in the trailer.
Yeah,
because the whole first half of the movie was
building
delivered
up
to
that twist.
Yeah, it was building. Yeah, exactly. It was delivered to you as if like you didn't know that the twist was coming, right? And what bummed me out is there was like all these hints until you saw the twist, like showing you.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. Like I was like, ooh, I know exactly what all these hints mean because Asa Gonzalez is giving us a lot of them, so I know all of them, what they all lead up to because I saw the trailer.
And Sam Heughan was too. Sam Heughan was giving plenty of them.
Oh
That's the thing is like, I saw that trailer and I was like, I don't really need to watch the movie at this point.
I
feel
annoyed.
like I know exactly what the plot, even if like not everything obviously, but I know the general through line of the movie and cool, I'm good. Like I don't need, you know, it's weird. And it's like, I feel like just the setup of he was brought back from the dead and has nanites is enough to make people interested.
Yeah, like, and it's a variant comic, and also
Valiant.
It's a Valiant comic, which they haven't really made films from before.
This is the first Valiant comic film.
Exactly, and it's Vin Diesel as the titular character. Like, that's more than enough to get like comic book fans involved. And then you've got Asa Gonzalez, which brings Asa Gonzalez and Vin Diesel bring in like Fast and the Furious fans, and then you've got a female fan base coming in with Sam Heughan, who's like a huge heartthrob on Outlander. So like there's plenty of draw for this movie. They didn't need to reveal what they revealed.
But the movie itself
was real solid.
I don't know.
I really liked it.
I liked it. Here's the thing. I liked it. I think it's a really fun movie. You shut your brain off for 2 hours. Don't think about anything.
Yeah.
It's a really fun movie. If that's what you want to go to the movies to see, then yes. This is it right here. I think that some of the things in this movie are really underdeveloped, like writing-wise.
Fair.
I was like, some of these characters are...
I wanted more.
Yeah, I feel like the character that is most developed in this movie isn't even Bloodshot.
Which one? Oh,
it's KT.
Yeah, it's KT.
It's Asa Gonzalez's character.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The most developed character because you can understand where she was before this movie started.
But what I'm wondering is KT well developed because of the writing, or because
no, it's not because I love Asa Gonzalez,
or
because I was reading I read somebody else's review and they were like, KT's the only character I sympathized with, and if this movie was framed from her perspective, this movie probably would have been better.
Yeah,
because she goes through a bigger emotional arc.
She does.
Than anybody else in the film.
Yeah. Well, Bloodshot his emotional arc is pretty limited because of
but that still should be a more
the information that he knows.
Yeah, but that should still be a more interesting story than.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is like it would have been a more interesting story,
had
right?
we not known the plot twist.
Had we not known, like, why didn't you guys have
Yeah.
like, you know what this is to me? This was like they were afraid that people wouldn't go.
Yeah, and so they gave you the plot twist.
So they gave you the plot twist. But I feel like people would have gone and been like, what is this? And then word of mouth would have, like, you know, if we weren't in the current situation we're in, word of mouth would have spread out that, no, this movie is like,
but it's a
genre subversion. Like, you have to go check it out. I didn't know Vin Diesel was going to blah, 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 blah. But since they gave us that twist.
Yeah. But the movie is fun. The story is pretty simple to follow.
Yeah.
I think the acting from everyone is, you know, as good as you're going to get based off of the material that they're being given. I mean, Vin Diesel does what Vin Diesel does.
That's true. Sam Heughan needed a little bit more time, I think, with a dialogue coach. And,
Gaby was so upset with his accent the whole movie.
I'm sorry, Sam. He's my favorite. I went to this movie to watch him in it, and I couldn't get over the accent. I was like, pick one, Sam.
Yeah, no.
He needed more time with the dialect coach, I think. And then he also, like, because his accent took me out of it so much, I couldn't enjoy his, like, speech that he made.
I will say this, though. He, in that speech that he does make, he is very menacing.
Oh yeah,
he's very great.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
I've never seen him in anything other than this. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. I saw him play a prince in a really corny Hallmark movie,
and he was great in that too.
But yeah, I haven't.
Well, you gotta. No, I can't recommend Outlander to any of my black friends. But
whoa,
there's slaves in the third season. There's slavery, and there's like a lynching. It's not cool.
She's like,
I can't recommend it.
She said, I don't feel confident and comfortable recommending this to you.
You know what? I recommend the first 2 seasons,
and then stop.
And after that, you could choose if you want to continue.
I think Lamorne Morris's character,
dude,
is the best character.
Freaking Lamorne. No, KT's character is the best, but Lamorne brought me back into the movie.
Here's the thing. I think Lamorne's character is like, he's super funny. He brings the energy whenever he's on screen.
Yes.
And
his
so
accent
great.
was pretty good. Like, his accent was what I wanted Sam Heughan to do.
Yeah, like, his accent was really good. And yeah, we were saying earlier, Asa Gonzalez's KT probably has the strongest storyline in the whole movie.
She does.
It's like pretty well done. It's more than I was anticipating.
Yeah, I normally when Asa is in something, I feel about Asa how I feel about what's his name? From like Call Me by Your Name. Not the young one.
Army.
Huh?
Army.
Yeah, it's like I feel about Asa in movies like I feel about Armie Hammer. It's like she's here, but they underutilized her.
See,
but I didn't feel that for this movie.
I went into the movie and was just like, oh, she's the one woman in an action film. So like you are automatically just going to be limited to your whatever romantic arc they're going to give you. Yeah. And they didn't do that.
Well, they did though.
Well, there's a love story, but it is not.
Here's the thing though, like once again going back to my big gripe that they gave us that twist because they built her up to be that love story figure and I'm
glad she wasn't.
No, I'm glad too, and it would have just added to the depth of this film had we not known.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. But it's like it really takes you out of it.
Yeah, like her arc is just it's a really good arc. It's the most interesting arc because she's the one who goes through the most emotional turmoil throughout the entire film.
Yeah, she's like super beat up about everything the whole time.
And her acting choices in it are really spot on.
I mean, like, she's a master. Man.
She's great. And I was reading an interview with her. And she was talking about how there were like very specific things that they had her do that she and the director talked about doing because before the twist happens, like, you know, she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So she does very specific things. So like when she kicks the stool over to him, it's very timed, very calculated. Yeah. She doesn't look at Ray Garrison when she does it because, you know,
because she's already done it.
She's jaded.
Yeah.
When there's a scene where she goes into the command room, or when they're telling him about his powers.
Yeah.
And she has a coffee mug in her hand, and she cleans off the table because there's a coffee stain on the table
from all the times.
And she sets her coffee mug right on top of it after she cleans it. So now I'm like, I want to see this movie again because I just want to see all the different little small things that you're doing that I wasn't paying attention to before.
Or like, same. Or like because I was really excited that he was in this movie. I was watching like Sam Heughan's character the whole time, and he was like doing like really similar things. Or like with him, it was like a lot of shuffling of his feet and a lot of like underhanded comments, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, don't worry, I'll tell you everything later.
Those are the things I would like. Those are the things I would watch this movie again for.
Yeah.
But also before we move on to the next thing, I do want to say this film is very nice to look at. Cinematography is really good. The use of color is also really good, especially in that tunnel scene. That action sequence.
Yes.
That action sequence is dope.
That was really great.
And then also I think most of the visual effects work is really good up until we get to the final fight, because then it just looks like a stereotypical CGI mashup fight.
It
but
does.
before that, you can really tell the director, Dave Wilson, has worked in visual effects before, because everything before that is pretty good looking, pretty real looking.
Yeah.
So I thought he did a really good job with that. But yeah, Bloodshot. I liked it. I had fun.
I liked it. I had fun.
I don't think there's anything like particularly mind-blowing about this film.
No, but there could have been. Which is where it hurts me a little bit.
Yeah, it missed the
like,
mark.
Oh,
missed
like
the mark.
You could have made like a movie that everybody was like, yo, like you've never seen something like this before, but like instead you told us the twist.
But it's a fun 2 hours if you guys just want to watch something for 2 hours. That's if you feel comfortable and safe going to a movie theater, if they're still open.
Yeah.
So anyway,
or maybe they'll release it like they've the other 3 movies that were that are going to be released.
We'll see. Next up, though, guys, we're gonna do our.
What you doing? What you talking about? What you watching?
Yeah. So how are you guys spending your social distancing or your self-quarantining?
Self-quarantine, social distancing.
What are you guys doing, or what do you plan to do during all of that?
Well, Colin doesn't want to participate in this. Do you?
Nope. Keep going.
Colin, come on. I know that you've literally watched. What about that My Hero Academia movie that you went to go see? Was it good? Did you like it?
Anyway, Gabby, what are you into?
Todoroki.
Why are you on this podcast?
You know what?
Really?
I like having Colin here. No, I was joking.
I was going to say, he's fine, but...
So my new housemate, because I have a new housemate. Well, I still have the other housemate. We just have another housemate moving in. Yeah, I'll tell you guys about it in detail later.
Off mic.
Yeah, off mic. So my new housemate has been watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and I have joined her on occasion watching it. And Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was really, really good. I saw the first 2 seasons, but I hadn't seen... actually the first 1.5 seasons, but I hadn't seen the rest of it, and I was like watching bits of it with her, and the songs are like, the first time around I didn't notice what the songs, like the inspiration for the songs was, and this second time around I could pinpoint what musical they were drawing from, and all the songs are witty, they're all kind of silly. It like the main thing that the show talks about is mental health. It does it in a really sweet and caring way, but also obviously silliness, because the show is a musical. It was such a gem, and I'm really glad that the CW gave it the run that it gave, because I think if it had been on any other channel, it wouldn't have been as successful as it was.
Chopping Black.
Yeah, it got 5 seasons, which for like a show that
has
small,
it been on that long?
It's off now. It's over.
Had it been on that long?
Yeah, it was on for 5 seasons, and it was really good, and so. And it showed a part of like California, particularly Southern California, that you don't ever see. You know, like what it takes place in West Covina, and like before, I don't think I'd seen a portrayal of somebody Asian like this on TV before. But it showed like an Asian dude from West Covina that's like buff and like to like break dance, and he was kind of like a b-boy. And I think he's Filipino too, which is like all those things combined are like those are rarities in television. And like Rachel Bloom, who created the show and she's the star of it, said that like she grew up in like that area, I think. And she was like, I remember growing up and seeing that particular like stereotype of a dude at my school, but I'd never seen it on television. So I just wanted to put it on TV. So I thought that was really cool. And a lot of other like people of color representation as well is on the show, which I really like. And it's just like silly and fun. and it gets serious for a moment, and then it brings it back around to the silliness, which I think is great. So yeah, I've just been watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Dope. I started a show that I really, really like, but I don't really want to talk about it in full until I've actually finished the season. But I started Castlevania season 3, and I'm very, very happy about that. Before this whole virus situation flared up, once a year I take up like an arts and crafts sort of hobby type of thing. I just, once a year I just feel like I got to let my creativity out in a more physical manner and not just writing and directing and stuff. Last year I designed a box for all my D&D stuff.
Ooh.
This year I started painting Nerf guns and Nerf gun adjacents.
Yes.
Which has been very amusing, very fun. Also a little worrisome because I've been using spray paint and I don't have a paint mask. I need to get one.
Are you doing this outside?
Absolutely.
Or in well-ventilated areas?
No. I'm doing it outside at all times.
Girl, I did that for years. You're fine.
Yeah. So I've been...
Yeah, if you're outside, it's...
Yeah, I've been doing it outside. It's just that the fumes sometimes are just... It's a lot, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
But
I've done 2 blasters so far, and it has been a lot of fun. I brought one with me today so I could show it to these guys. And
it's really cool.
Yeah, I really like that one, actually. I'm very happy with it. It's like each one of them has taken me like 5 days of just work.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, I spend a few days doing the spray painting. And then once I finish the spray painting, like both of the ones that I've done have like designs on a certain part of it.
Okay.
And then once I finish the designs, like one day, I spend like one day doing like weathering work on it as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it takes a few days just because I'm also new at it too, and I just want to make sure that I'm taking my time and not messing up, letting my inner artist out. Sort of. I'm gonna use these as props one day. I just gotta write a film where I can just use these as props and have a reason for doing all of this. Because my mom is like, "Why are you playing with toys?"
Because it's fun, Mom.
Because I'm just letting out my inner artist. I gotta find all sorts of ways to do that. So next up, our news section. There's not a lot of news. But the first thing is Vanity Fair released the first look of West Side Story, which is the remake being directed by Steven Spielberg. I'm so hyped about this film.
Me too, dude. That freaking, there's like a ballroom, like the dance.
The gym scene.
The gym scene, yes. And it's like Latinos on one side, white folks on the other. And it like, wow. It just looks real authentic.
I've been really excited about this film since I don't think I was like super excited when it was first announced that they were remaking it, but that was because I hadn't seen it yet.
I was really excited.
I watched it recently, like in the last couple of years, and was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. It's by the guy who did The Sound of Music. And before I was super into sci-fi and fantasy, I was into musicals, because of Disney and because I spent most of my time watching Sound of Music. Sound of Music is directed by the same guy who did West Side Story. So I'm a huge music.
Rogers and Hammerstein? Right?
No. Directed the movie, Robert Weiss.
Oh, directed the movie. Okay, I understand.
Yes, I absolutely love Sound of Music. I really liked West Side Story. However, it does have its brown face issues.
That's why I was really happy that they were remaking it, because I knew that Natalie Wood wasn't Latina. So
most of those people.
No, I know. It was just Rita Moreno. And like the guy that plays Bernardo, whose name I always I can't remember right now.
But yeah, I just was I got super excited for this film after I heard Rachel Zegler sing, the girl who's playing Maria.
Yeah, you've been going on about her for months.
Because that girl's voice is... She released a couple of videos of her singing this past week too. And I was almost in tears listening to her sing. And then to see these pictures, oh my gosh. I can't wait to hear this girl just blow this soundtrack up.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really excited.
Oh man, her voice is going to... I was listening to some of the music from the original movie today. And I was listening to it tonight, and I was like, when I hear Rachel sing this, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
And hear her sing I Feel Pretty, guys, it's going to be so much. It's going to be amazing. I'm so hyped.
I am too. And Ansel Elgort's going to be a solid Tony. It's going to be a good movie.
I was reading the interview in Vanity Fair, and the actress who was playing, Rita Moreno's? Anita. The actress playing Anita, she talked about how she was talking to Spielberg. I guess he was asking her about what she wanted to bring to the character or whatever. And the girl playing her, I think her name is Ariana DeBose. She is Afro-Latina.
Yeah.
So she talked to him about the fact that in this day and the day and age that this movie takes place in, not only would she be looked at differently because she's Latina, but also because she's black and they wouldn't really know how to place her.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that's something that's also going to be like layered onto the movie as well.
Good.
So I'm
At
like,
least we've got something of that.
I'm super hyped about this.
Because also colorism is a thing with Latinos.
Yeah.
So.
Also, Rita Moreno is in the remake. She's an executive producer on the remake. And if you've seen the original, there was the character Doc, who ran I think he ran like a bar or some sort of restaurant or shop or whatever that was neutral territory for both of the gangs.
Yeah.
Her character is a new character who's going to be Doc's widow, but plays like the same role.
Yeah, same role.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that's exciting for me because I love Rita Moreno. She's fantastic.
Me too.
She's awesome.
She did my favorite Oscar speech ever. I've shown you.
She's on One Day at a Time, which is enough for me.
Yeah. No,
Colin has no thoughts.
You don't know that? Oh, okay.
I mean, I know I've seen West Side Story, but I don't remember when that was. I will probably end up seeing this version just because why not? I like musicals.
Also, I'm really excited for you guys to do that Throwback Thursday for West Side Story because, man.
I'm going to side-eye some of it. I already know.
Oh, you all are going to side-eye quite a bit of it because of the brown phase at the very least.
No, I know.
I can't wait to hear that conversation.
I'll be so mad. Well, no, I'm probably.
No, just be mad about it. It's fair.
No.
It's fair.
I think was this movie made during the time where the Hays Code was still a thing?
I don't know. They came out in 1961, so.
Oh, it might have been. That's probably why there was brown face. But still, I'm still mad.
All I know is that Steven Spielberg, in the interview, he said that they really wanted to right some, should I say wrongs? I don't know if yes, that's fair. Because the film had a lot of things that were wrong with it, aside from the fact that it had a lot of things that were very right.
Yeah. That is a correct statement.
So I cannot wait to see how this film turns out.
Yeah.
But on to the other news, which is that Hollywood is basically shut down right now.
So is the rest of the world. It will be fine.
Yeah, but we're a podcast that talks about movies. So we're going to talk about that section.
This is why we need to diversify.
Do we?
Yes, read books. Those are not shutting down.
I mean, yeah, we all read books to a degree.
Read more books.
I read.
Do
anyway,
Do you?
Yeah.
I lend you a book and you don't get to it for like a year.
that was one book.
But
Yeah.
she gets to it.
But how long did it
Colin.
take you to get to that one book that's not even that long and is really enjoyable?
It was
and,
like 500 something pages.
What?
that long.
That's so many pages.
Exactly.
There's so many pages.
We're adults. We have
Yes,
things
I
to do
am.
with our lives. Anyway,
Do you?
yes. I don't now, but yes.
I have so many things to
Anyway, Hollywood has shut down with the rest of the world. Basically, every major release from March and April has been postponed indefinitely. We were going to do a Quiet Place review. We were going to do a Mulan review. Well, we're not doing those right now. So,
I know, but it's not like they're not being postponed for a good reason.
oh, yeah, they
And
are.
They're going to come back and it'll be okay.
It's just really crazy watching the world all kind of
Implode.
stop.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, I wasn't going to say implode.
Well,
But
no, it's not implode. You're right. It's just stop.
it's-
But it'll be okay. We're stopping for a good reason. It's not like things have like come screeching to a halt and we don't understand why or when it's going to be over. Like we have a general idea of when it will end, and
Do we?
We have, yeah.
when is the general idea of when this is going to... Summer?
Yeah, probably summer.
With that being said, though, we as a podcast will continue to try and come up with content for you guys to listen to in your quarantine, as long as we are not sick.
Yeah, otherwise I'm staying home.
Yeah, otherwise we will not be doing this. We have plenty of fan casts that we could be doing.
Yeah.
There
There's also like
have been a couple of
TV
other...
shows that are still coming out.
Yeah,
that we could talk about.
for now. One of my favorite shows is about to end in like 2 weeks because of this. So
Like, end
no,
forever?
like the season is going to end in 2 weeks.
Oh,
so
yeah. That makes sense.
it's like that's it.
It's going to be okay. The more we quarantine, the slower it'll happen, and then everybody's going to get the care that they need. So, yeah, Hollywood shut down for now, but it's for a good reason. It'll be okay. And we still have everything that's out right now. All the film nerds that have been like, there's so much good TV out, I never have time to watch. It's like, this is your time. This is it. This is where you've finally watched Better Call Saul if you're me, and Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? Like, I've always meant to watch them. But I've never had the time.
I started Breaking Bad, and then I stopped in season 2 and never came back.
I would like to point out that specifically to me, if you're willing to risk your life, you and I have like 30, 40 episodes of... No, I'm sorry. That's one show. And then another 30 or 40 episodes of another show that we need to watch because you haven't seen them. We have nothing but time. And the show slaps.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all the news we have is that basically West Side Story has given us a first look. I would like a trailer very soon. And that Hollywood has shut down all at the same time.
Yes. As has the rest of the world.
Dun dun.
It'll be okay.
But yeah, that's been an episode of Creative Differences from the Apocalypse. I guess I'm going to do Dallas's thing because Dallas isn't here.
You're always really solid at it.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening to our podcast. We hope you guys are enjoying it. Like I said, we are going to try and find more content to do for you guys until we have movie reviews again. But yeah, thanks again to Brandon and Io at Crown Digital who put our stuff on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Dallas usually takes this moment to thank me for editing and putting everything on YouTube. Thank Gaby for participating in this with me.
You're welcome.
And for going to see Bloodshot with me. Thank you. I appreciate you.
It was a lot of fun.
Colin, thank you for, I don't know, the emotional support of sitting there. I guess, I don't know.
You rude asshole.
And
to me, why are you hating right now?
Judging us the whole time.
Oh my God, I would not. Thank you to Kayla for the face journeys that you were going on while we were talking. It was really nice.
I don't know. Maybe Kayla was more of the emotional support than what was Colin doing?
Right? Okay. Wow.
You're just really going for him right now.
I don't know what I did to you.
Oh, you know what you did.
No, I literally don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I
Dallas,
don't.
we miss you and we wish you were here with us. He's alive.
He's not dead.
He's alive. He's just not here.
He's just not here with us. Yeah, you guys can find us at Creative Differences on Facebook. You can find us at Creative Differences Podcast on Tumblr. You can find us at y'all_different on Twitter. Where can they find you guys on Twitter and other social medias on the medias?
They can find me at Stegosoria on Instagram.
You can find me at Duck McGuck on Twitter.
And you guys can find me at Dreamy Films, Dreamy spelled DREEMI on Instagram and Twitter.
Sorry, go ahead. Hey, you're good? Mm-hmm.
Yep, we're good.
And let's see. You can find Dallas at Mask of the Red Death on Twitter. Mask of the Red Death is topical. That's all I'm saying. Also, that story slaps.
I was going to say you can find Dallas.
Oh, come on. Let it out. Get it out. I believe in you.
Sorry.
She's laughing really hard right now, guys.
This is going to be really dumb. I was going to say you can find Dallas at Self-Isolate with me on Twitter.
Kind of like that one. It's been different, guys.
Bye.